or you can't do it. You just can't do it, and it's time to think about seriously which side of the people are you on. Are you serving the people, or are you the enemy of the people? That's for police officers. It's going to start coming out now, the mask laws, which don't ask me how they're going to wind up making this a law. It's a process. For the most part, this is my thought on how I would approach it. If I was arrested for a masks law, I would absolutely take it, and I would fight it later on in court. Let's just say it's a $300 fine. I don't give a fuck. I'll let the fines continue to pile up, and I will not wear a mask. Continue to jail me, and down the road, you're going to get enough people where it's going to be a constitutional violation. You're going to get some lawyer out there who is going to take on a bunch of these lawsuits and sue the village. You have federal law, state law, and village ordinance. I know a lot of you people out there are asking me how do they enforce this. The same concept is kind of like curfew. So curfew isn't listed in the U.S. Constitution. There's nowhere out there in the Constitution that says that when you're under 18 years old, you have to be inside doors on Friday nights by midnight. So you have village ordinances which are adopted, their laws. I don't know how they affect your credit score. I don't know how the fines wind up affecting you. I don't know how you're jailed. But all I know is that when I was a cop and we used to arrest for village ordinances violation or state laws, it's because we knew the money was going directly to the village. Meaning that if you walk down the street and I Terry stopped you and I did my investigation and I found that you had a bag of weed on you, I could write you a $75 ordinance violation. That wouldn't go on your criminal history, but you would pay the $75 to the village instead of the state. So, but if I did say, but the threat of how we used to say it was, well, I can give you a state charge and I can give you a court date. Then you have to go to court, 60 days from now on a Monday. You're going to have to get a lawyer, all this. Or you can pay the $75 to the village and be done with it now. So there's a lot of leverage games. It's all about money in law enforcement. So, and again, I'm not blaming the cops. I'm blaming the politicians, and I'm blaming the government, and I'm blaming the village admins, and I'm blaming the mayors, and I'm blaming the police chiefs who know all this. And those of you who are in law enforcement, you're worried about keeping your job or losing your job. It's time to think about keeping this fucking country. So when you look at this, don't enforce this. No ifs, ands, or buts. Don't be that cop. If you enforce mask laws as a police officer, the village ordinance laws, you're an enemy of the people. You are a terrorist. You are no longer a police officer. You are a cunt. You are not a cop. There's just no other way around it. If you're going to sit there and be outraged, and so many of you were, who just held on the whole, the Georgia shooting, it was a good shoot, or those of you who are looking to justify the kneeling on the neck of George Floyd, or doing everything you can do to fight tooth and nail to preserve law enforcement as you love it, and then you turn around and you enforce social distancing laws for this farce pandemic, you're not a cop. You're a hypocrite. You're a coward, and you're an enemy of the people. And I absolutely think the war should be declared on you. That is my 2 cents. You have to be smarter. Don't enforce these social justice laws. Do not enforce any village law that winds up putting masks on people. If you can't fucking open up your eyes and see, they're not looking to protect you. They're looking to make money. They're looking to make money. They're looking to keep you indoors more and looking to control you. This mask law has nothing to do with safety. So if you're a police officer and you stood by and you got frustrated knowing that you couldn't do your job, and you listened to your command staff, no, stand down. We have to let them burn. We have to let them loot. We have to let them rob. We have to let them call us bastards, and we're targeting blacks and this and that. But then you go out and you're going to sit there and enforce social justice laws, village ordinances. Retire. Resign. You're done. You're done. Law enforcement doesn't need you. You're an enemy of the people. You are not a cop. You are a cunt. End of story. Think about that as time goes on, because I refuse to comply. You'll wind up arresting me if that's the case here in Illinois. I don't care. I'll fight it every way I can. But nobody I know is going to comply to this law, this village ordinance. And I'll be damned if I don't go down using my voice swinging and my actions swinging on it too. All right, guys, that's it. Do not enforce that law.